Hello and welcome to the Bird Talk Show. I enjoy that introduction. Every time I watch it, that's why I share it with you. I hope it makes you feel as happy as it does me. Takes me to a completely positive headspace, as do many of the birds. They do. It's my passion. I like sharing it. There's something good for everybody potentially. So I put it on the buffet of options here at the Bird Garden YouTube channel. You may have noticed my brightly colored graphic t-shirt. This is my work called Polly. It is part of the Hawaiian Adventure collection. I'm not a very good model, but that is Polly, one of the birds that I painted after I came back from Hawaii. Positive headspace, generate a lot of positive creativity. I love to paint. I've been an artist for a long time, and much like being in the natural world, the artificial world of recreating nature inspired art is very positive energy for me. Now there you can Google right now what's so good about art. You'll find lots of scientific articles about how healing art is and how being a part of a community where people share something creative. Humans share something another human created. There's something more to it than the aesthetic appearance. We've got in the chat today Pam of Punchy Paints YouTube channel. So glad you're here today, Pam. I am often inspired by your work. I do consider Punchy Paints one of the best artists on the internet. She'd never say that. She's embarrassed right now. I'm talking that way in front of her. It's just true. It's true. The level of depth in her paintings and the layers upon layers, the light, the shape, they go so far as, and I've said this to Pam before, they go so far as to capture an emotion. There it is. If you're not looking to generate your own emotion, when you look at a painting, look at one of Pam's, and there's one. Oh, you're not limited to that. You're the viewer. You can see anything you want, but one's provided well beyond the scene, well beyond the subject. There's a mood, there's a feeling. Pam does that wonderfully. Thank you for being here, Pam. I'm always supported when I see you near, so thanks. I really appreciate that. We are talking about bird art, and this trip to Hawaii, I'm telling you, it cleared the mental pipes. And I've been bird watching this last week. I mean, like a madman. Hundreds of birds. Migration is kind of finishing up. The bulk of migration is through this area here in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains in East Tennessee. Birds are nesting. They're feeding young. A few still trickling through. It won't be long. It won't be long. Late summer, they'll be coming back the other way. But right now, it's a very frenetic time, and I'm seeing lots of pairs of birds, species that I haven't seen in particular locations, new birds for my home county, which I don't get very often because I've been birding in my home county for decades. And the bird diversity here is a treasure trove. As my ornithological professor, Dr. Fred Alsop, said, it's a treasure trove of diversity right here. But I was able last week, well, between live streams, I guess it was late last week, Friday, and through yesterday, day before yesterday, I was able to add, this is monumentous. I was able to add 6 new species of birds to my county list. Went out there, found the birds, identified them, saw them, heard them, added them to the checklist. Okay, I'm talking about as a bird watcher, keeping a checklist, going to the field, the proper habitat, the proper time, and engaging the bird visually or audibly or both. Putting it on a list. Yes, I've encountered that bird. Yes, I know how to identify that bird. So I was able to add 6 to my county list in the last week. And I can't remember the last time I was able to add 6 birds to that week in a list, because some years, here's perspective, some years pass and I don't add any to that list. Some consecutive years pass and I don't add any to that list. So to add 6 in 1 week, unbelievable. It was monumentous is a word. We're going to throw it out here. Proper usage. And again, context going forward, my prediction is I will never add 6 species to my home county list again. Not in my lifetime. It's going to require it's going to require a storm. It's going to require a storm that just happens to blow from one of the coasts, the Atlantic coast or the Gulf Coast, straight through to the mountains here in East Tennessee. It's happened before. It rarely happens. Doesn't happen every storm. Doesn't happen every year. But we get the fallout of the birds caught up in a tropical storm because the winds and the weather system meet the mountains here, and then the updrafts kind of raise and dissipate the system, and so the fallout happens here. I guess every storm, tropical storm, hurricane, comes ashore and weakens until it's no more, and they can do that anywhere, right? They're who guides the wind. So when they come to my section of the foothills of the Smoky Mountain and there's a fallout, there can be some really unique birds to this area, birds that typically occur at sea or on the beach or in the brackish waters, swamp waters. They get caught up in the storm, blown up, the storm dissipates, they call it a fallout. Okay, storm fallout. Well, that could happen. I've seen several in my 20 plus years of bird watching here in East Tennessee. That could happen. It's going to require quite a storm because I have seen it several times in my life. And I have a lot of those birds on my county list because of that. I don't think it will happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think I'm at the end of my home county list. I think there's probably one or two more birds I could find here in the county that are migrants. I feel very confident I've got all the nesting birds, but it could be a migrant coming or going in the flyway, a bird or two that I could add to that list, and then it's storm birds, vagrants, birds that just veer way off course, and those don't usually happen half a dozen at a time. So my prediction is what happened over the last week will never happen again in my birding career, and I am certainly enjoying it. Cheers, and thanks for being here to share it with me. Now, that was fortuitous, unplanned content for today. I'm just putting that on the record because it happened. Oh, wow. I mean, yeah, I love editing and preparing for this live stream and making art, but a bird watcher's got to bird watch every now and then. I've been out there birding, and it's a fantastic spring. We're having beautiful weather, 80 degrees, partly cloudy, a breeze, doing a lot of birding on the river and at one of the local lakes. And it's just phenomenal. The birding community is out there doing the birding thing, and we're sharing internet posts. I was so pleased that one of my birding friends sent me an email thanking me for posting one of the records that I encountered last week. It wasn't a new bird on my county list, but it was for their list, perhaps even their state list. So now you see I've revealed what a bird nerd that I am. There's different levels of lists. There's my yard list, there's my county list, there's my state list, and then I maintain a list for every state that I travel to. So I enjoy travel birding. Went to Texas in November. Why did I go back to Texas? I went to Hawaii last month, right? For the birds. Come back. Now I got the t-shirt. I didn't buy the t-shirt. I made the t-shirt. Went to Hawaii, made the t-shirt to prove it. So that's the way of birding. It's a catalog. It's a list. It's a library. You're a curator of a collection. The list, and the list takes me to places. It's organized. So yeah, I would like to expand the list to see new birds. Guess what? That means new places. It means new places, new friends, new food. I'll tell you, this bird watching, there's a lot of good in it. Hopefully some for you. I'm stocking the buffet of options full of the benefits of birding, not to mention how easy this positive headspace of enjoying the birds, my passion, translates to creativity. All right, this is Polly. Some of you may already know Polly. Polly's been around for a couple of weeks now, but I'm going to introduce you to some more bird art. Pam, I'm glad you're here. I'd love to have your feedback on these pieces that I'm going to share. And for those of you who may not know, Punchy Paints is a YouTube channel. I recommend you check Pam out over there. She hosts a couple of live streams a week, including one where live art is done. She's thank you very much, Pam, for having me on as a guest several times on that live stream to share in the maker process with several of our friends. And I've been able to show several pieces of my art, talk about others, promote my art show. Last year, it's a really great community. Now that that is a common benefit between art and birds. There's that camaraderie. Okay, now I bring the two to an intersection: birding and bird art. Not all my art is bird art. I got lots of fish inspired art, right? Some just absolute abstract art. And if you follow the channel for very long, you know that the style of art is variable, usually colorful, usually packed with positive energy, because I can only do me. That's what comes out of the brush when I paint. And speaking of, before I show you these pieces of art, uh, they're probably available. They're probably available. Here's what's going to happen. If you're interested, this is not a sales job. This is not an auction. This is not, these pieces are for sale. But if you're interested in acquiring a piece of art, here's where that's going to happen. Over there at the Honolulu Birding Trail Facebook group, let me see if I can share this with you guys. Over there at the Honolulu Facebook group, Honolulu Birding Trail Facebook group, all right? We're going to talk about the bird art over there. That's where we're going to talk about birds. So you can get in that group. I'll let you in. I do ask that you request to be a member. It just keeps the group private. It lets everyone know this is monitored. No shenanigans here. We're just all gathering to have a good time. But we're going to talk about the bird art over there at the Honolulu Birding Trail Facebook group. So ask to get in, and I'll let you in over there. Then you can send a Facebook message, if you're interested in acquiring a particular piece. I'm not so open to commissions. I hear suggestions, but I'm just it's not my thing. Commissions are not me. But yeah, if you got a suggestion, I'll put it in the I'll put it in the machine, see if anything comes out. But we're going to talk about that right over there at the Honolulu Birding Trail. Now, I'm presenting this live stream, birds, bird art, bird watching, bird travel, bird friends, as positive energy. I think there's mutual benefits for everybody involved: the birder, the non-birder, the bird, the place where the bird lives, the community that you get involved with. And I just want to keep it right there. Just kind of light, kind of positive. I mean, especially when you're talking about passions, you can really get into positions, right? And then there's turf discussions. Well, this is not what these formats are for. That's not what we're going to do here. We're just going to enjoy promoting the benefits. If there's one for you and you want it, by golly, I want to make it available to you. I want to put it out there for you. Art, going to be one of them. You want to talk about an acquisition, check out the Honolulu Birding Trail. We'll be happy to figure something out over there. All right, now I'm gonna show some paintings here. But before I do, I want to check in with chat. This is a live stream. 16 people here today. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. And we are trying to achieve more watch time hours. I'm trying to provide quality content, so you'll watch more videos, maybe share a few, and want to come back and see more. That's what it's all about, right? I'm putting forth a lot of effort as a YouTube creator to make content that you enjoy so much you just consume. Yeah, I hope that works out for both of us. I hope you're enjoying this. If you are, say so in the comments. Let a creator know. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching this on the replay, thank you very much. It's Wednesday, 1 p.m. here in East Tennessee. If you're watching the replay, I don't know what time it is, but it's a good time to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. You like it? It's something you want to see improved upon, a particular subject you haven't found on any of the bird talk shows, which there's a playlist for all the bird talk shows. I'm open to suggestion. Put it in the comments down there. But right now, we've got 15 people watching live, and I want to say hello to some folks in the chat. So I'm going to look to my left and say, let's scroll up here. Oh, you guys are just chatting away. That is awesome. Punchy Paints #1. Well, Pam, congratulations. You get the #1 slot, and I couldn't be happier about that. So glad you're here today. S is here. Liquid Zoo Only Fins, Mystery Snail Guardians, Amazon Research Center for Ornamental Fishes. That's ARCOF for short, and definitely check out that YouTube channel. This guy, Dr. A, Anthony, is doing so much for the universe, particularly the world, where he has set up a research center for aquarium fish. It deserves applause. Thank you, Dr. A, for all you do. Dr. A was a guest on the Bird Talk show. So fortunate to have you as a guest. Love to have you back soon, Dr. Anthony. You went to Peru right after our episode aired, and I'd love to have you back to talk about what happened while you were in Peru, and also some of the birds right there at the Amazon Research Center for Ornamental Fishes. We're looking forward to seeing you again, Dr. Anthony. Thanks for being here. Myrtle Singh is here, one of the most talented, multi-talented YouTubers that we know of. He's written an original song for the birdgarden channel, and I've uploaded it with some beautiful footage of red-winged blackbirds. And Myrtle is fully credited in the description of that video. Look for that. 2 beautiful red-winged blackbirds on the thumbnail. Listen to some of Myrtle's stuff. This guy's good. I'm not kidding. Rico Stan is here holding down the moderation activities. Thank you for being here, Rico. Always glad to see you, my friend. And that blue wrench looks good on you. Man, it does. Stephen P. 2003 Aquatics. Hashtag I am a snail. This guy, we're talking about creativity. Man, creativity must attract creativity, because Stephen P. 2003 Aquatics. He's the time. I think the last time he was in a live stream, I described him as the most creative YouTuber out there. The guy made up a rap song about the aquarium fish hobby, and it was so relevant and so true, so groovy. You're just into this rap. I'm like, oh my gosh, Stephen P. I had no idea you were a rapper, but you are. And you're a great one, my friend. Thank you for being here. Gina's Reef is in the house. I love those green hearts. Oh, those green hearts make me smile. Thank you, Gina's Reef. Skipper's Aquarium. What is going on, Skipper, sir? Glad to have you here. We've hung out before on each other's live stream, and it's just a great friendship we've got going there, Skipper. I hope you're doing well. Eric Wyrock. Hashtag Rack Raid. Thank you guys for raiding Rack today at the Bird Talk show. I'm welcoming everybody. This is a great crowd. These are a bunch of fish keepers, freshwater fish, saltwater fish, invertebrate keepers. Man, these are a wonderful bunch of people. Debbie Holding, hello, how are you doing? Geek Boy, Jennifer Weaver, Welvina Fish Clan, hello. A couple of new names here. Welcome, guys. So glad to meet you. Thanks for showing up in chat. Lunatic Fringe is here. What is up, Chewy, my friend? Glad to have you. Lunatic Fringe says, watch the birds no matter where you are at birdgarden. Hey, everywhere I've been, there are birds. I think everywhere you go, you'll find birds. I want to teach people the birds are there. They're fun to watch. Here's how to watch them. Here are some suggestions, some appurtenances, some maintenance, some gear, some methods that I use. Happy to share. Identification, that's big. The best performing, fully edited video on the channel, how to identify birds. Very simple, very true, very accurate, very fun to watch, because birds, full frame, in focus birds. I put it out there. Brookley Bell is here with the hashtag Raid Rack. Thank you so much. Thank you for the raid again. Hello, everyone. We're chatting with each other. Lady Rorschach. I butchered that, and I apologize. Someone want to give me a phonetic spelling on that. Glad to have you here, Lady Rorschach. And we're getting down to the bottom. I may have addressed everyone in chat. That's quite a group. Thanks, guys. Whips World, what's up? He's a regular. Appreciate you, Whips World, all the time. You comment. Makes me feel good. You're catching the live stream. You're catching the replay, dropping a comment. Man, that's cool. I really dig that. And we've got Dee Dee's Fendin. Hello, Dee Dee. How are you today? Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate that. Rico Stan dropping a number here. I only have 163 on my life list and haven't added any in a few years, although I did hear something I had never heard before this past weekend. Well, oh my goodness, Rico. Hang around. hang around. Have I got something to share with you? And well, everyone, not just Rico. I've mentioned we see birds visually and we hear them audibly, and both are identification cues. Oh man, I want to share this with you guys. Again, unintended, but I did, and this technique, the reason I'm making a fuss over it right now, it's one that I used in the past week to help me with 6 new county birds after birding the same county for decades. Let's see. So if I started, I'm gonna say I started birding in this county on purpose. Not I've lived here, so I grandfathered a list, right? Birded when I was 10 years old, and then 13, 14, I discovered girls and cars, and I didn't bird for a long time. Then I had my own kids to worry about, and so I started keeping a list, birding on purpose again in 1999. Okay, so that's over 20 years. We're getting on 25 years. Whew, man, these gray hairs are earned, I tell you. Anywho, I mean, I've just seen the birds here, decade after decade. To get 6 new ones is really something. Here's a technique I used, and it was fun. It was, I don't know how much it helped. I don't know. I wouldn't say I wouldn't have gotten any of those birds if I didn't use this technique, but it was a lot of fun. It's very reassuring. I'm going to share it with you. Thank you, Rico, for adding this impromptu content to today's live stream. Okay, and if I've skipped anybody in chat, I'm sorry. Certainly didn't do that on purpose. I just noticed we've got a bunch of great people, and I wanted to say hello to everyone. Yeah, okay. Please say hello again in chat if I missed you, because it looks like I've gotten everybody. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about art acquisition over at the Honolulu Birding Trail Facebook group. That's what we're going to do there. Yeah, let's. I'm going to remove Patrick, your message. We're not going to discuss that here. I hope you understand. And moving on down, I think that's it. Okay, very good. Yes, art is a positive thing. It can be. I guess, it can be negative. If you want it to be negative, hey, more power to you. I use it in a positive way. And that's not to say that an artist who starts from a negative point of view or wants to promote negative energy can't happen, doesn't happen. Sure, it does. I'm just saying I can only do me. Okay, so I want to translate my positive vibes into positive vibes for a viewer. All right, today, that's you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I've told you about Polly. Holy cow. Polly is the most famous painting that I've done in a while. Polly has made the rounds. Polly premiered on many live streams, including this one. So Punchy Paints is here. Thank you so much. That's Polly, Lunatic Fringe. The parrot shirt is Polly. So Polly, quite famous. And actually, we also have some cards of Polly. Polly's going to continue to be famous. Polly has a story to tell. The story is growing by Providence. Oh, Polly, she's a wild one. We're going to keep talking about Polly. The Polly coffee mug I was going to show you, I think it flew off to my wife's workplace. That's what I think. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, we're just testing out some merch ideas. We're just fooling around because we've got a Hawaiian Adventure collection. The Hawaiian Adventure that comes from a ebook that's available. The Hawaiian Adventure ebook. There'll be a link in this description for that, and all of the other Bird Talk shows since we've got back from Hawaii feature the Hawaiian Adventure Paradise Awaits. It's a prep by step planner for a Hawaii trip or any major travel. I just happen to be bird watching. It's not bird heavy, but it's just culture, food, people, the same things you encounter regardless of where you go for whatever reason. So there is the the ebook, Hawaiian Adventure. You can get your copy. And this is the notebooks. I mean, I'm so scattered. If I didn't keep a notebook, I wouldn't accomplish much. There'd be a lot of loose ends. So we have these available at the Kauai Birding Trail Facebook group. The Notes in Paradise. It's 48 lined pages, little craft paper back notebook adorned with Bird Garden YouTube channel sticker and the Kauai Birding Trail sticker. You can inquire about those at the Kauai Birding Trail Facebook group. Okay, and there's some. I designed all that. There's more creativity. The logo for the birding trail, the logo for the YouTube channel, and if you like making notes, I use that thing before, during, and after the Hawaii trip. So there you go. And while supplies last, if you order one of those notebooks, you'll probably get an extra Kauai Birding Trail sticker. Very limited supply. Very limited supply. But if you want a notebook, you can get a sticker. There you go. While supplies last. But you got to ask over there at the Kauai Birding Trail. You want to find out about some art? Honolulu Birding Trail Facebook group. Notes in Paradise notebook, Kauai Birding Trail Facebook group. Now this is just more organization for me. If I can categorize and compartmentalize these things, easier to keep track of. Because if I don't do that, and you guys, you might be a lot smarter and more capable than I am. If I don't do that, I find myself like a juggler, so many things in the air, and if one drops, they all drop. So compartmentalizing these things, it's just the way it's going to have to be. One hiccup, there's too many cars on this train to allow one hiccup to derail the whole train. So we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I should say not anymore because we've had some close calls. And so we're just going to compartmentalize it, and we're going to deal with it in one compartment at a time. Okay, you drop the compartment. Okay, that compartment's dropped. Let's fix it, put it back together. Meanwhile, the other compartments function. All right. Now, I don't know if that made sense to anyone. I don't know if you're skilled organizationally and you're thinking, oh, wow, this guy's really weak organizationally. Either way, I'm just telling you how it is. And that's what we're doing. Let me get back. You went just the opposite way there because you pressed the wrong button. Okay. See? Last week, and I promise it's 33 minutes in, it's time to show some art. I've got it right here to show you, but I want to mention last week we had an excellent live stream, and we talked about the best binocular for a birder under $300. Oh my goodness, the response we had. Several people, including someone. Okay, so I had a guest on the show, Ashby Gale of the Charleston Fossil Adventures YouTube channel. Check out Charleston Fossil Adventures YouTube channel. Ashby was a guest. He's a paleontologist. He takes people on megalodon shark tooth hunting expeditions in Charleston, South Carolina. He has a pair of these binoculars. He took a birding vacation to the Virgin Islands and appeared and talked about them. We talked about them in the show. I knew they were good stuff, but I had never seen a pair or held a pair that I recalled exactly like this. After our discussion, someone in the chat ordered a pair and said they loved them. Yeah, we got them. Well, I was at the local Wild Birds Unlimited store in Johnson City, Tennessee, picking up some supplies for the 24/7 live bird feeder station here at the Bird Garden YouTube channel. And I saw they had them for sale on the shelf, and they allowed me to borrow the ones you see pictured here to talk about. And I gave a full review. So you guys responded very kindly to that. If I mean, it's a big question. Whether you're a bird watcher or a NASCAR fan, a football fan, an opera fan, any place where field glasses are popular, what's a good one? There's so many options. If you don't know, you go to the store, boom, they got a bunch of stuff. Which one's a good one and what's a good price? Well, here you go. We did a full review of a really good pair at an excellent price, much less than I would have imagined. And you guys seem to really appreciate that. So gear reviews. All right, I got a mental note. Thank you for the suggestions. Gear reviews. We'll do that. That was a really good one. It was the topic of last week's Bird Talk show. Okay, now one more. No, No more items. We've talked enough. We are at the 35-minute mark, 15 people here. We're going to look at some art, people. You already seen Polly. You know about Polly. And Polly's appearing on stuff, shirts, cards, coffee mugs. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I want to introduce you to a new friend. Now, you watched the intro if you were here at the beginning, and those red crested cardinals. One of the most beautiful birds I've ever seen in my life. They were everywhere, underfoot. Got some great footage. Well, I knew it wouldn't be long. I made several sketches, just like with Polly. You make several sketches, right? Paint a few sketches. All original, but you gotta, you see where the mood takes you. So I made a painting of a highly inspired red-crested cardinal. And this guy is called Red Stud. Red Stud is a 3x5-inch canvas board, right? There he is. And I like that painting. I love that bird. Now, Red Stud has a girlfriend, and her name is Ginger. So they're a couple. Red Stud and Ginger. And I was just imagining my time with the birds, maybe personifying a little bit, wondering about the birds. And we came up with Red Stud and Ginger. I should probably hide Polly so Polly doesn't distract. Stoop down. There you go. Ginger and Red Stud. Okay, a feminine, masculine thing there. What if? And the punchy paint says, Ginger's a cutie. Okay, I thought you might like Ginger. I love cardinals. Yep, these cardinals I think are Asian. They were invasive species. They were dropped off in Hawaii, and now they're prolific. And then here's another original piece. The state bird of Hawaii is the nene, or Hawaiian goose. It's the rarest goose in the world. This one goes back, the abstract. All right, the essence of the birds. It's probably one of the biggest birds we saw, even though for geese it's very small. I would say it's half the size of our Canada goose. So here's the nene inspired piece that's going to have the same title. Okay, so you're going to see this finished live. This was programmed. So I'm going to sign Nene right now. There you go. All right, there you go. Now it's per se finished, and once it's signed, I will add a coat of clear acrylic protecting and glossing the cover. This one has a clear coat on it, so I think it does a little bit for the light, enhancing the color. It does a lot to protect the image. So this is it's a little rough to the touch right now, a little matte, which is okay because I used rustic strokes, but I do want to make it more archival. So I'll let it cure for a little while and then shoot it with some clear coat. And now that I've signed it, I will name it. You're seeing this live. This is live entertainment. This is how it works. Nene, by the way, is Nene, Hawaiian for Hawaiian Goose, which is the state bird as mentioned, and also the rarest goose in the world. This is a 6x8 panel. And this painting was painted and completed today. I don't put the exact day, so this will say May 2022, something like that. All right, and then the medium acrylic. And that's how we roll. It's a blue Sharpie. All right, it's a thin black Sharpie for the signature. No secrets, just art. Nene, for your viewing pleasure. Okay, now if I'm hoping, this is what I hope. I hope you've never seen a Nene before, and now you're dying to know. And you go look one up. I hope you do. I hope you look one up. Now, coming up on the channel, we're going to have some live footage of Nene, the Hawaiian goose. So hang around. We've got in process a soon to be released video about Pearl Harbor, Honolulu, Hawaii. And that is the poignant end of our Honolulu content. Then we're moving to Kauai. And Kauai is where we encountered the Nene and the Laysan albatross. Oh, wow. One of the reasons we went to Hawaii was to see an albatross. So I'm looking forward to getting into that content. And just so you know, we also saw, and paintings are in my head already. I love it when they fly around in my head like this. The white-tailed tropic bird and the red-tailed tropic bird. Birds that I've coveted for a while. Been on pelagic trips at sea, hoping to catch a glimpse of these birds. Never saw them both in close proximity and in good numbers in Kauai. So the Kauai content is going to start rolling out. The Pearl Harbor video will release this week. Maybe the first of the Kauai content. If not, then next week the Hawaiian Kauai content will start rolling out. And I appreciate you guys watching those videos. I put a lot of work into those, and that's not a complaint. I actually really enjoy reliving the memories of birding there in Hawaii, knowing that I was going to come home and it was also going to inspire some paintings. Now, in my note keeping, okay, I did consider and made some notes of taking my plein air kit to Hawaii, because I knew there would be sites, there would be landscapes, there would be urban locations that I would never see anything like, had never seen anything before unless I revisited Hawaii. It came down to packing, and I opted for audio visual equipment instead of painting equipment. I do not regret that decision. I do have some audio. I've spoken to Pam, Punchy Paints, about is there such a thing as stale air painting? Like you take a picture and then you paint the picture? And of course there is. It's just the plein air painting happens on location. And it's very quick, and you're capturing the light. That's what it is for me. The light that only exists for a moment. Okay, you set up, you stretch out, you start painting, and you have got a limited time before every shadow moves. You follow me? A cloud comes in, all the shadows move. You spend too much time on a painting, the sun moves. So the light changes so quickly. It forces you to move quickly and to capture things in your mind with your mind's camera differently than when you're trying to be more realistic. And I really dig that. It's a great exercise. I'm not great at it, but I love the exercise. It's enough of a challenge to keep me really engaged, and I haven't mastered it, so it's never boring. So that happened in Hawaii. I wrote down notes about taking the plein air pack to Hawaii. As it worked out, we just took more camera gear, and I'm glad we did. I mean, I've got some amazing pictures of landscape in Hawaii. I mean, it's unbelievable. And I was going to show you, but I've jammed my phone up. I can't get my pictures to open. The pictures are clogged. Okay, I just unclogged it. Thank you guys. You put the pressure on me. All right, so here is here's a bird list I made yesterday. I mean, the birds are rocking around here. Baltimore Oriole, red-winged blackbird, Kentucky warbler, common yellow-throat, northern parula, pine warbler, indigo bunting. Holy cow, there's birds everywhere around here right now. And these, here's some bait on the hook. Jurassic Park was filmed in Kauai. Okay, that's the type of landscape that we looked at every time we turned a corner. Another, oh wow, well, it's a lot, it's lush like it is right here, the foothills of the Smoky Mountain. We're probably a temperate rainforest, right? Tennessee has more amphibians than any place on the world, diversity wise, and amphibians, they depend on moist skin to breathe. So where are my photos? One more time. Hawaii was lush like East Tennessee, but definitely the topography was different. The shape was different. It was, you've got a small landmass. It's an island, a tiny island, and it was uplifted from volcanoes. Matter of fact, I've got a prop. This is a U.S. Coast and Geotech survey. This is a point, all right? We went to this location, and I may just have to read it to you. There we go. Kauai State Park. Anyway, this was in a concrete post in the ground. This geolocated point is surveyed at 4,285 feet above sea level. Now, that's a long way up, right? And you can look down and see the ocean. That's a long way to look down. I mean, because it's a short distance, what I'm getting at is it's steep. And it's not a flat slope. It's one deep crevice beside another deep crevice, and they're solid jet green. And then the deeper in the crevice, the darker the green gets, the lighter on top. Everything was in bloom there in April while we were there. And that's the best I can do to describe it. Understanding that words are not enough. This is something you have to see to understand. It's like the Grand Canyon. It's a feeling. Here's a cliff. All right, you see the street lights in the foreground. And we're just driving down the street. Boom, mountain, sheer cliff. Yeah, and those hills are not so much rolling as they are jagged. Oh man, I'm going to paint that. I'm going to get in there and figure out. I've never made painting shapes like that. Okay, this is probably Honolulu in Kauai. You're just walking down the market street, then man, the skyline are these amazing mountains. It's nuts. Yeah, so if as a tourist, I was digging it. Wow, this is really really cool. But as an artist, I was like, yep, I can't help but be inspired. This is definitely something like I've never seen before. Yeah, it's not just a bad lighting job on here. That was an overcast while we were making that landing on one of the islands. Now this is one I can't wait to paint. I want to share it with you. Kilauea Lighthouse, Kilauea National Wildlife Refuge. Those are red-tailed tropic birds by the dozens. And what you don't see nesting on that rock cliff are red-footed boobies by the thousands. Just off of that point, very famous for humpback quails. We saw the water spout from the humpback quails. Also, the Laysan albatross flying all over that point. But we also had some at our resort. So the guy was probably about 3 feet from my car door. I'm in the car driving down the road, and he's just watching the traffic pass by. So that was, oh man, that was a big reason to go see that guy and to get so close to say hello. And now you've had a chance to go look at Nene. I'm going to show you Nene. Waimea Canyon waterfall. Yeah, I'm going to be painting. I'm going to be painting Hawaiian-inspired bird art, Hawaiian-inspired bird habitat. Okay, if you see one of my paintings that's landscape, well, we were there because it was birding habitat, and we were chasing birds to put on our Hawaii list, and that's why we were able to come across. Oh, here's what they call the Grand Canyon of Hawaii. Yeah, no way, Waimea Canyon. No way you can tell how impressive that is. It is a big waterfall. It's a huge canyon. Huge. Oh yeah, and then we had some. The beaches were awesome too. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Hawaiian beaches are where it's at. But that mountainside, whew. All right, I'm going to let you see this short clip. I'm giving you guys today. You're getting the benefit of the trailer of the movie, so to speak. Let's see if I can pause that and back it up. I will let you see it. All right, here we go. Sheer cliff down into the canyon. Wow. A deep, deep canyon. I don't know how far this shot takes you, but I could follow that all the way to the water, just that steep, all the way to the Pacific Ocean. Those are white-tailed tropic birds flying in front of that rock face. Yeah, there's the ocean. Just amazing. Oh. Oh, I can't show you that picture. I wish I could because my wife is so beautiful, but she doesn't like to be on camera, so I can't show you that one. Yeah, probably coming to a painting near you soon. The Pacific golden plover all over the place while we were there. And then shortly after we left, they left. They're going to go up to the Arctic to breed. I'm so distracted right now. Can you tell? Not the photo I wanted to show you. I had one particular photo in mind. I did find Nene. You want to see a Nene? Are you ready? Let's find a good one. Oh, there's an albatross, but we want a goose. Where's that goose? Horrible lighting. Well, I mean, I blame that on the lighting. And I don't mean right now. I meant when I took the picture because I'm not the best photographer in Hawaii. But you can't, the colors in that bird's neck are definitely not showing. There's a little bit. Yeah, you really need to look those up so you can see, get an idea there. Nene. No, mountainside. Checking back over at chat. You guys are still chatting it up. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Dr. A says the Amazon Research Center for Ornamental Fishes channel. Just think, I moved my wife from Hawaii to Amarillo, Texas. She must have really loved me. Ha ha ha. Amen, Dr. A. Interstate 40 goes from Knoxville, Tennessee, just east of where I am, to Barstow, California, right through Amarillo, Texas. And I drove that entire road from coast to coast. Went over there and spent some time in Malibu. Uh, I remember Amarillo on Interstate 40. It seemed up there on the interstate, okay, and I didn't get off the interstate. It was just going through the panhandle, the upper panhandle there of Texas. Uh, it seemed godforsaken. Like I remember there was a tree and a rock, and I think a cloud that day, and that's all I have in my memory bank from Amarillo. It was that interstate passage. And I'm looking at these pictures of Hawaii, comparing the two in my both in my memories, and she definitely loved you, Dr. A. There's no doubt about that. And good for her. I'm sure that was a very exciting and different experience for her to get over there in Texas. Well, and yeah, I don't know if you can imagine. I took thousands of pictures, so finding one picture here now live is like finding a needle in a haystack, of course. Honolulu. Have you ever heard of Honolulu? I've heard about it. Bird watching in Honolulu is, I mean, at least a dream come true. Simply amazing. Holy cow. Just pull off the side of the road, little pull off, boom, look at this. I don't think you can see it in not very well anyway. There were like 3 waterfalls in that mountain. There's one right there. Just waterfalls. But the picture I was going to take was a really good example of the dark green Jurassic Park jungle background, and then some of the plein air work I would have done, and I definitely was thinking that when I took this picture was, yeah, this bad idea doing it this way. But yeah, that's Honolulu Bay. Like that would have been a plein air painting of mine, and that I'm telling you this because in the back of my mind, there's going to be a next time. And next time I'm taking paint, I'm taking brushes and paint and easel, and there's going to be some plein air stuff. There's going to be a stack of these canvas boards in my luggage. And I'm just going to paint and move and paint and move and paint and move. I'm going to get some photographs of some birds, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to paint the birds. I don't know. I may continue the series of red crested cardinal, add to ginger and the red stud. Maybe I get some new perspective on Nene. I think already I'm going to review my pictures of the rose-ringed parakeet that is Polly, and do some work with this palette. I love this palette. That bird was amazing. So much fun to see in the wild. Obviously inspiring. Yeah, I think I want to do some abstract work with this palette because parents, man. Art everywhere, art. We've reached 59-minute mark talking about how good art is. It's healing. It's sharing creativity between humans. I use it for the positive. The universe is big enough for people to use and to view and to see art however they want to. Just shared my perspective. And if you want to know more about acquiring any of my art, we're going to handle that over at the Honolulu Birding Trail Facebook group. And probably predominantly you can make a post and initiate the conversation, and probably we'll move to Messenger after that, and not clog the Honolulu Birding Trail Facebook group posts discussion, with the what would be more or less a private matter, right? So we don't. That's not good for public consumption. We'll handle that offline. And if you want the notebook, the Notes in Paradise notebook, go to the Kauai Birding Trail Facebook group. We'll figure out how to discuss that over there. And while supplies last, probably get a free sticker with your notebook. By the way, there's not an unlimited supply of the notebooks. There's a limited supply of those. There is an unlimited supply of the Hawaiian Adventure ebook. So there'll be a link in the description of this Bird Talk show, as well as the previous Bird Talk shows since we've returned from Hawaii. Already a link. You can go over there and get your copy of the Hawaiian Adventure ebook. And here is, again, the Notes in Paradise we talk about on the Kauai Birding Trail Facebook group. Thank you guys so much for being here. I do appreciate the raid. That was so kind of you guys to share the raid. I'm guessing that came from the morning aquatic show. So I'll find out more about that, and next week we'll do a big shout out to whoever sent that raid, because that was so cool. I'm gonna go add some more birds to all of my lists, since this is a very active time for birding around here, and I'll probably share that list with you next week if you're interested. But I'd like for you to get out there and make your own list. We're going to close it down here for this episode of the Bird Talk Show. We're going to do it again next week, Wednesday, 1 o'clock. It'll be uploaded as content. You can watch it anytime you like on the replay. Thank you guys very much for being here. Until we get together again, definitely get out there and see some birds.